Attention, we'll get going. Can someone wake up the man in the front right who's missing college? You're missing college, my friends. Good to have you back. All right. Okay, this is a quick one. He was back up instantly. Okay, so we'll get started. So now we will do a lecture, the last cognitive biases lecture. It is on balance theory. Balance theory is an idea that's associated with our friend Fritz Heider, who literally was a friend of mine and my family's. That's why we're learning so much about Fritz's ideas, because he's super cool. Okay. All right, so balance theory. In 1958, Fritz Heider published a book called The Psychology of Interpersonal Relations. And this book is considered by a lot of people to be one of the greatest books in the history of social psychology. And why is it considered that? Because the book kickstarted two major research programs. One, attributions, which we already talked about. Remember the triangle and the square and the circle and the box and all that? That was the field of attributions. That was Heider's experiment, and he kind of kickstarted that whole area. Second idea, balance theory, which is first kind of elaborately presented in this 58 book, but technically came out first in an article that came out in 1946. And Heider's approach in this idea, this theory, balance theory, was distinct in psychological social psychology for its emphasis on theory. So one thing you'll notice is we have like balance theory and cognitive dissonance theory. And these are theories that psychological social psychologists came up with that we're learning here, because we're in this big social psych class that has psychology and sociology in it. But theory is not something that psychologists generally do a lot of. They tend to do kind of smaller, just kind of A to B type ideas, like this variable causes this variable, this effect, this bias, and so on. So like the above average effect, these lists of cognitive biases you've been talking about besides balance theory and cognitive dissonance theory. It's more typical of psychological social psychology. But in the 50s, they got pretty into theory for a while, and the sociologists that do social psych have remained into theory. I just told you that to be thorough. It doesn't matter much, just pay attention to what we're doing. Okay. So what the heck is balance theory? Well, it is, like cognitive dissonance theory, another theory of cognitive consistency. And it's very similar to cognitive dissonance theory, though it wasn't invented earlier. And I don't just say that because I love Fritz Heider. It really did get invented earlier. So let's talk about balance theory. Balance theory is a very simple and elegant theory, which, like cognitive dissonance theory, though you'll find many exceptions to it, but I think it cuts to the heart of great truths about interpersonal relations and social psychology. So it's a very abstract theory. So we start the theory, or explaining the theory, with three basic elements in a cognitive system. So this is a cognitive system, a set of cognitions in your head, three elements. There's a person, there's some other person, and then there's some impersonal object, idea, or event. We'll call it X. So you're P, there's some other person O, and there's something called X. And the main assumption is that you're P, remember, you seek balance among the elements in the cognitive system. Now what the heck am I talking about? Okay, so here's an example. So I know. Go to a movie with somebody. You go on a date. You go on a date to a movie with somebody. So you're P, your date is O, the other person, and X is the film Kung Fu Panda. Very hypothetical example. I've never done anything like this. So you like your date. I could use that thing. Where's that light thing? I love that thing, man. Okay. All right. I'll do it on intro. All right. So you love. Oh yeah. Here we go. All right. You like your date. That's why you asked him or her out to see Kung Fu Panda with you. So that's a positive. That's the sentiment between you and your date. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, it could be any film, for example, any of the great films of the last 10 years, like Superbad, Cloverfield, or some other amazing film. Okay, so then you really like Kung Fu Panda, right? Because you have very good taste in film, and Kung Fu Panda is a great friggin' movie. So your date also likes Kung Fu Panda, thankfully, because he also has excellent taste, and that's balanced. How do we know it's balanced? Because you multiply these signs around, and they equal a positive, right? A positive times a positive times a positive equals a positive. And whenever you multiply all the signs around, you get positive. That means it's balanced. You and your date have great taste. You like each other. That's balanced. Okay? You propose on the spot. Okay, that's how this theory works. Okay, all right. Okay, but hypothetically, what if your date has very, very bad taste and somehow doesn't like Kung Fu Panda? Ridiculous, I know. This creates imbalance, right? Because if you multiply the signs, you're going to get a positive times a negative equals a negative, exactly. And a negative is an imbalanced state in this kind of system. So that imbalance creates discomfort. Maybe a little bit, maybe not a ton, but a little bit, right? And it makes sense, right? Like if you and your date, and you like your date, right? Also wouldn't be on a date with the person. You like them at least reasonably well. If you disagree about stuff, that's, somewhat uncomfortable, right? And if you agree about stuff, then that's comfortable, right? Okay. And in some ways, I think people think this is like what a great date is, right? Like a first date goes great when you talk about a bunch of stuff, agree a lot, find out you have a lot in common, have all these similarities, basically where it's repeatedly a balanced situation over and over. A bad date would be a date where your date is a fool and doesn't understand how great Kung Fu Panda is. So, balance theory says an imbalanced state is characterized by stress, discomfort, or unpleasantness, and it exists if there's one or three negative relations in a cognitive system. If there are 0 or 2, then it's balanced. But you don't have to remember that. You can just multiply the signs around and figure out if it's balanced or not. So, if you multiply the signs around and it leads to a negative rather than a positive, then that's imbalanced. If it leads to a positive, that's balanced. And know that not all imbalanced states are produced by watching the film Kung Fu Panda. Most are, though. Okay. It's a general theory, mostly applies to Kung Fu Panda. So, how is balance restored in the course of social perception? Let's say one of these, there's a negative sign, or maybe there's three negative signs, and it's imbalanced. The system's imbalanced. How could balance be restored? Well, one of three ways. P, you, in this example, could change your attitude towards X. Yeah, that's not going to happen with Kung Fu Panda. You could change your attitude towards O, your date, or you could persuade O to change his or her attitude towards X, or maybe distort your perception of O's attitude towards X to think that O has the opposite attitude. So these examples include, you could convince O that she or he likes Kung Fu Panda. That would be shifting this negative to a positive. This is as clever as these PowerPoint slides are getting, and they're actually too clever for me. I've got like this thing and this. Anyway, and it's not really that clever at all. So your date doesn't like Kung Fu Panda, you do, that's imbalanced. You convince your date, you browbeat your date into liking Kung Fu Panda. Another thing, you could change your mind about O, which I think would be a reasonable thing at this point in the date, and that could become a negative. You say, I like Kung Fu Panda more than I like you. Okay, so alternatively, you could, heaven forbid, change your mind about the film Kung Fu Panda, changing this from a positive into a negative. That would restore balance in a way, though not in the universe, just in this cognitive system. Okay, so you understand how this would, do you understand these examples? There's a question, no question yet. Okay, cool, let's keep going. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, yes. Let's do the multiplication thing. So here's one, right? Remember we talked about this imbalance state. Your date doesn't like the movie. You love the movie. You want to like your date, but they just don't like this movie. One thing you could do is stop liking your date. Now you multiply these around. Negative times a positive equals a positive, so it's balanced. Yeah. And then we'll go back to this imbalance state. The other thing you could do, heaven forbid, stop liking the film. Negative times a positive equals a positive. It's now balanced. So, all right. Okay, let's talk about a more serious example. Let's say you and your parents or some friend or acquaintance disagree about some political or religious issue, something important to you. So classic examples, maybe your parents are conservative and you're liberal. It's a classic college students fighting with parents over dinner at holiday break. And what are they fighting about? They're fighting about abortion, Christianity, the war in Iraq, sex, God, drugs, all these very controversial issues. So let's say that you have some political thing. Say you hate the war in Iraq. You're very against the war in Iraq. Your parents support the war in Iraq. And you want to like your parents. you always did before this conversation. This creates dissonance, or sorry, imbalance, but also cognitive dissonance. So what could you do? Okay, so you could try to convince, this is what I do, try to convince your parents that they're wrong. You could try to convince them to flip this to a negative, right? So they also will see the war in Iraq is wrong, the same as you do. Or you could change your opinion, or at least maybe temper it while they're around, long enough to get next week's check for college. Okay, so that would mean changing this cognition, or at least seeming as though you do, and feigning a balanced situation. Alternatively, you maybe are so stuck on this cognition, and they're pretty stuck here, and you can't change it, and at least for the purposes of the discussion, you maybe have kind of a negative sentiment towards them, right? We've been in these situations, I think. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's a cool question. All right, does this theory assume low tolerance for ambiguity? Yes. So tolerance for ambiguity is a personality trait that I just introduced in the cognitive dissonance theory lecture, and it's basically your tolerance for cognitive dissonance or your tolerance for imbalanced situations. So people who are very high in tolerance for ambiguity would probably conform to this theory and cognitive dissonance theory less, because they would experience less imbalance in these situations or less dissonance. So that's an excellent question. However, we do find that when we don't even measure people's tolerance for ambiguity, they tend to conform to the principles of this theory and cognitive dissonance theory. So the general story is people aren't really tolerant enough for ambiguity to not really apply these theories in general. So generally these theories will apply. Okay, or let's say, the two of you that are talking there, can you please stop talking? Thank you. Okay, let's say you have someone you really, really dislike. For example, I really dislike Paris Hilton. I don't know her, but I don't understand why I still am being made aware of her reaction. It's been 10 years now, and it's gotten ridiculous. But maybe for you, it's an acquaintance, or a friend's friend, or a political figure, or a celebrity like Paris Hilton. You find that you agree with this person that you dislike on something pretty important to you. So, for example, God forbid, you find out that Paris Hilton's favorite band is the same as yours. Okay, so you dislike Paris. Obviously, we're going to go on a first-name basis with Miss Hilton now. And you like your band because you have excellent taste, but then strangely, Paris Hilton does as well. What do? What happens? Okay, you can start to distance yourself from your favorite band. You can start to say, well, they're not that great, and start to flip this to a negative. Or, because you want to disagree with people you have no strong negative sentiments towards, you could try to pretend that Paris didn't mean it, or even try to convince her that the band sucks by saying, Paris, they're so overrated, nobody likes them anymore, you should give me all their bootlegs. It's just a lot nicer, she probably has all of them. Or, alternatively, you could say, you know what, I had it wrong, we actually have a lot in common, I sort of like Paris Hilton now, and that's obviously totally hypothetical. That's not going to happen. So, other balance theory stuff. By the way, every year there's somebody who likes Paris Hilton who complains after class. So that's inevitable, and I'm ready. I've got my arguments ready this time. I'm going to win this time. Last time I think they knew more about Paris Hilton than I did, and so I lost. This time I'm going to win. Okay, so bring it. I want you to. Okay, so how do we restore balance? I told you there's a tendency to restore balance. I've explained when there's imbalance in situations, but exactly how would you do it, right? There's three different ways. There's three different cognitions you could flip in the system. Which one will you tend to flip? Well, Fritz Heider tells us, and there's no reason Fritz would lie to us, Fritz told us that you take the path of least resistance. You essentially look at all three, and whichever one is sort of the easiest to manipulate will be the one you manipulate. So if you're with someone whose opinions are very malleable, maybe you'll try to change their opinion of the thing. Or if your attitude towards the object or event or issue is not that strong, then you'll go, well, okay, maybe you're right. Okay, sure, whatever, let's not talk about it. Or if your attitude towards the person is not well formed, or it's right on the line between positive and negative, maybe if there's a strong enough feeling towards the object that you have, then maybe that disagreement will kind of tip the balance, and you'll dislike them more or like them less as a result. And maybe you'll even flip to a negative sentiment, at the least for the purposes of the conversation. So for example, you could drop your girlfriend or boyfriend, don't change your opinion, come through hand, obviously, and that would be the path of least resistance. Okay, so this theory helps explain a lot of stuff, right? Why we disagree with people that we don't like, why we tend to dislike people that we disagree with a lot, why we, this isn't in a list, but why we get offended when people are disagreeing with us like all day. That really offends people. Why? Because it's signaling something we kind of implicitly know, because we sort of know balance here. It's signaling you don't like me. That's why you're trying to disagree with me, right? It also helps explain why we agree with people we like people that we agree with a lot, assume people that we dislike will disagree with us even before we know. Why we try to agree with people we want to have a friendship or relationship with, right? Like why you pretend to like the same music and movies as your date even when you don't, and on and on. And so the theory probably has some holes, right? It doesn't seem to apply perfectly every day life, but it's also a strong theory, and its strength comes from its parsimony, right? There's three elements. There's the positives and the negatives between the elements in the system, and then there's this one principle that you go to, or two principles, that imbalanced systems go to balance, and then you switch the sentiment of least resistance. You call it the path of least resistance. So in a way, it's a very nice example of Occam's razor, and that's a value that's really important in theory. What could Fritz Heider have done? He could have listed every one of these things and more, right? Because embedded in this theory is not just all these ideas, but like a whole bunch more. There's all these different predictions and scenarios that are described by this relatively simple theory. But instead, he was able to keep it in, he was able to keep it in just a few simple principles. It also illustrates the principle that people talk about a lot, that my enemy's enemy is my friend. That if I dislike somebody else that they dislike is my friend. And this is a principle that's so strong, it's brought countries together in fighting wars, and has probably affected your everyday life in the past as well. But it's also a theory that helps explain why it is that when people play devil's advocate, they're incredibly irritating. And I think we've all experienced this. We've probably also been this person as well. I know I've been on both sides of the devil's advocacy thing. But if you're relentlessly disagreeing with somebody, it is damn irritating, because it suggests that you dislike them. That's what it suggests. It may not be true, but that's the way it's interpreted. If it's relentless disagreement, even on stuff where it doesn't seem like they really would disagree. I've ever gotten in arguments in relationships like this where you're like, wait, I know you don't even disagree with me on this. Like on Tuesday, you thought this, now you're saying this, just to disagree with me. Oh my God. That got kind of biographical. Okay, so you can also see the similarity to cognitive dissonance theory, right? It's very clear. Balance is pretty much the same as consonance or cognitive consistency. Imbalance is equal to cognitive dissonance. Restoring balance is dissonance reduction. And the techniques are mostly the same. You pick the path of least resistance. In some ways, I think people think cognitive dissonance theory is a more general theory, and it may be, but balance theory is pretty cool too. Are there any questions about balance theory? Okay, then that's it. And please come on Thursday and watch this cool film with the replication of the Milgram experiment, and I'll see you next Tuesday.